So
Hoping to see
two
you.
quick things. One is that I went back and forth with the great Eric Davis on Twitter, which was my highlight.
Love Eric
And
Davis. He's so
I
smart.
he is very smart. And I said, hey, point blank, which NFC West team is going to win the division and who's the biggest threat? He didn't give me I said, your humble opinion. He said injuries is the biggest threat to the 49ers, right? And I just said,
Ooh, wow.
why though? I said, it's kind of, I was kind of like, is that really? Because you could say that about any team, really.
Yeah.
But then he broke it down in a way to describe depth and, who's the next guy if this gets injured. And I think we have seen the 49ers, no matter whatever starter gets injured, their backup is pretty serviceable, right? And you can't say that about everybody in the division, especially like Seattle's offensive line. Their offensive line is terrible. They get someone that's injured, they look even worse. So that was kind of, telling that he's like, it's not really about the starters, it's really about the guys behind them. And if they get called in, can they be serviceable for X amount of games? And we have seen that they can be for the most part on defense. Offense, hit or miss.
Yes.
And then the second point is that I think the 49ers really can't afford to get a quarterback or shouldn't, because I think the opportunity to draft generational players and quite a few of them, if they trade back, is just too good. Because I think there's going to be a quarterback frenzy, and I think this is going to be the year that we break the record of most quarterbacks selected in the first round. Don't you kind of get that sense that everyone wants to hit the reset button, salary cap's going down,
It
we'll
seems
get
like
rid of
four are going to
this
go in the
guy.
top eight. At least four are going to go in the top eight from
Four,
what I.
four. So from that, you're going to have a lot of talent that's going to be
Yes.
sitting there. And
Yes.
even if
Devontae
you're
Smith
gonna,
could be available. And I was looking at Daniel Jeremiah's latest mock draft. Devontae Smith was available. J.C. Horn was available. Rayshawn Slater was the pick. They're going to have good options if they don't take a quarterback at 12.
and I also think that you may see a fundamental shift in the draft that the 49ers start actually drafting offensive players, because I think they know that they're probably going to have to reset a little bit on defense. And
Yes.
I think it's
They need the
time.
offense to carry the way.
I think it's time for Kyle to start, being a little bit much like Atlanta was that year where they were breaking records. They were very
Yeah.
offensive led,
Yes.
and I think the NFC West, as good as they are, outside the Rams, there's no one really on defense that you're saying, okay, you know, and even the NFC is not really led by defense as much as they're led by their older quarterbacks. So I think it's a perfect opportunity to draft offensive players, you know, score
If
30
Slater's there at
points.
12, I don't see how they pass on him unless there's a quarterback they like.
Yeah, see, I've got a bottle of wine. I don't think they're drafting a quarterback. I think they're keeping Jimmy, and I think that they are going to basically say we're running it back. We've drafted people around him. Let's see what we can do, and then they'll reset next year.
Well, here's the real thing. Before I let you go, real quick, what Eric Davis said about the only problem is injuries. The problem is that that's a very real problem for the 49ers. And if
Mm-hmm.
you bring back Jimmy Garoppolo, what do you expect to happen? I know what I expect.